Good morning, Dr. Raj Agarwal, sir.
Good morning, Dr. Saha.
Yeah, very good morning. Thank you for joining. So another 6-7 minutes. Let's other people join, and we will start, sir. Right, sir.
Raj Agarwal, sir, good morning. I am Dr. Santosh Bhosle, Director of the...
Yeah, how are you, Dr. Santosh?
Fine, sir.
Yeah.
Fine. How about you?
Yeah, fine. So everything is fine. So,
Yes.
so in Pune, the things are improving.
Yeah. In Pune, they are improving. In Aurangabad, it is absolutely fine.
Aurangabad. You are Pune based or Aurangabad?
Aurangabad, sir.
Achha, Aurangabad.
Yeah. Sir, here things are under control, and the number of cases have gone down like per day, 2 to 3 cases we are experiencing these days.
Okay, only 2
Yeah.
3 cases.
2-3 cases. So it's a bit under control.
Only in case of Kerala, this state is not good. And then in Mizoram also picking up. Mizoram, Meghalaya.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning.
Very good morning, madam.
Good morning, yes.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me introduce here Dr. Santosh Bhosle, sir. He is the director of the MIT.
Good morning, madam.
Yes, good morning, sir. Good morning.
Sir, a very good morning, Pandya, sir. Sir, I think you need to unmute
Okay.
us.
Now he's okay?
Yes, sir,
Yes,
very much.
yeah.
You are very much loud and clear, sir.
Okay.
Welcome, sir.
Good morning, Pandripanda, sir. Good morning.
Question.
So, we are just waiting for the guest of honors, all the industry personalities to join.
Yes.
Maybe another minute or two, they will also join. And I can say good morning, Mr. Sunil Sudavne, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Everyone, he is the president of NIPM Aurangabad chapter.
Good morning to all of you. So how have things been shaping up with you, Dr. Shah? How are things there?
It's all good, ma'am. All your blessings.
Because the CET is yet to happen, no?
Yes.
And I think your admissions, everything for us also, just taking some time.
Yes. CET is on 16th. And
17th, 18th, yeah.
Maybe another month or so.
So are they going to, what do you think? The AICT is going to extend the time for the even PGDM institutes?
Maybe because they have come out with the new academic calendar. They say suggesting by 4th of November the management institutions should start functioning.
But that could be only for the MBA or the MMS programs.
Yes, maybe they may extend the day for the PGDM institution also.
Yes,
Yeah. Because many students, they're also waiting to see their CET performance, and then only they will take the decision.
त्यांची मेलच येत नाही. जाऊ दे.
Anand Polsar, why it is coming late? Polsar, from like any message from the Mr. Bogle?
Yeah,
Mr.
actually,
Bogle?
he had just confirmed he did not pick up the phone, but I just asked Silent to call him in a minute.
So by the time, shall we start or wait for another 1 or 2 minutes?
Wait.
With the permission of the chair, Dr. Vijay Pandey sir. Sir, 3 more personalities from industries that are yet to join.
Wait.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Internet नाही.
अकाउंट डिस्कॉर्ड तिथे
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hope all are good and slightly freed from this pandemic situation. Aurangabad is much better compared to last year of the same period. So we are slightly able to move outside our homes and going to the market, etc. This year rains at Aurangabad also comparatively are good. So hope everything will go well. Ganapati Bappa will take away all these bad things from this region of India. Thank you very much. I request Gautam Shah sir.
So shall we start?
Yes, please. Let us start.
Yeah.
In the meantime, people will definitely keep on joining.
All right. So,
Yes, please. Please start, sir.
so namaste and good morning to everyone. It's a moment of extreme pleasure and honor to welcome all the guests who are present here to attend this inaugural ceremony of MIT's Center for Corporate Learning, Aurangabad. Today's chief guest, Dr. Vijay Pandey sir, former Vice Chancellor, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathoda University, and a renowned scientist of this country. It's a great honor for me to pronounce that Sir is Chairman of Governing Body of MIT Aurangabad. We welcome you, sir. With a great pleasure, we welcome today's chief keynote speakers, Dr. Raj Agarwal, sir, Director, IMA, New Delhi, Dr. Nandita Mishra, Madam, Director, CMIR, Mumbai, and Mr. Harish Bilgi, sir, Head Business Development, Modern Elite, Sharjah. We are delighted to welcome today's guest of honor who all are going to join, Mr. Ramchandra Bhogle, sir, Chairman, Bhogle Automotive Private Limited, and the highly respected industrialist from this part of country. Mr. Raman Ajgaonkar, President CII, Marathoda Region. Mr. Shiv Prasad Jaju, President, Chamber of Marathoda Industries and Agriculture. And Mr. Sunil Sutavne, President, NIPM, Chapter Aurangabad. On behalf of Professor Munish Sharma, Director General of MIT Group of Institution, and the Director, Dr. Santosh Bhosle, sir, I wish to welcome all the industry representatives, faculty members, my dear students, media person, and parents. We all have gathered here today for a beginning of a new fruitful relationship with corporate citizens and to witness the contribution in the knowledge economy. I have prepared a few slides to make you all understand the concept, what we are trying to convey to the world, that is Center for Corporate Learning. So let me start that presentation. You all know that this higher education institution around the world have always faced environmental changes. However, in the past decade, in India, altered the societal expectation, new public policies, and the technological innovation have created an unprecedented set of challenges for business schools. And I think a thriving knowledge economy depends on its institution in three critical dimensions. The first, the application and the exploitation of research capabilities. The second that we can consider the enterprise and the entrepreneurial culture that is developed amongst its students. And the third, the applicability of the knowledge and skills of all its graduates. Through this, I can see a different kind of relationship with the industry. Here, I'm going to represent this will and excel relationship. So which comes first, the will or excel? That could be a question, but many relationship that revolutionize the world. So the will of industry move on the excel of education. So for efficient working, effort has to be applied on the excel. So let's work in tandem to move greater distance, the way to revolutionize the world. So this is the relationship between the industry and the academia. Let us turn the wheel of progress. How? Like We at MIT Department of Management are imbibed with a seeking spirit to explore the world of infinite possibilities which are available in the industrial world. According to Peter Drucker, I quote, our extraordinary capacity to adapt, learn, and apply what we learn has turned out to be a true competitive advantage for mankind over all other species, leading to our current predominance on the earth. I unquote. So this particular thought has led us to define the strategic objectives of CCL, the Center for Corporate Learning. Our prime objective of CCL is to increase the capacity or the capabilities of the organization to acquire, apply, and share knowledge to improve efficiency and the competitive advantage. Second objective is that we strive to help you make a significant and positive impact on your organization and your career. Third objective is we are committed to build a robust community of professionals in the learning and the leadership development to fulfill the lifelong learning goals. And the last one, CCL will feature learning resources including webinars, workshops, assessment, management development programs, value-added programs, faculty development programs to face today's complex, unpredictable world. So to follow these objectives, we have defined a certain as a operational model of the Center for Corporate Learning. Before that, I'd like to give you a certain facts. Like recently, LinkedIn has done a survey where it has been found that 94% of employees stated that they would committed to staying at a company longer if the company invested in their development. And very interestingly, even complementing this statistic is that fact 90% of top management also believe that investing in their employees' career development is a positive requirement for the growth of the company. So considering that these three activities that we have defined, and we are placed to continue and to launch these activities. The first is management development program for corporate citizens. Second is value-added program for the students. And the last one is faculty development program for the faculty members. So three activities are going to be like this. Like, MDPs will be a fast-paced and intensive short-term, duration program, especially for the corporate professionals, to understanding the best techniques and the trends in the core areas of management and leadership. We are going to focus on these areas. Second is value-added program. These courses are going to supplement the curriculum to make students better prepared to meet industry demands, as well as develop their own interest and aptitude. And the last one is faculty development program to enhance the quality of teaching and the assessment practices. So these FDPs will essentially address the influence of self-efficacy on teaching effectiveness and the teaching perspectives. So this is all we are placed to do under the umbrella of CCL. So with this particular motto, so let's fulfill the purpose of CCL with this motto called creating beautiful minds, that we believe that only beautiful minds can bring constructive things to the world. So that is all from my side. I wanted to convey you what is fundamentally what is the purpose of CCL and why we have come out with this particular concept. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Gautam Shah sir, for the beautiful inauguration, beautiful information about the CCL, Center for Corporate Learning. Now I'll request Dr. Santosh Bhosle, Direct MIT, to brief about the MIT institution.
Am I audible, sir? Oh, sir, am I audible?
Sir,
Yes,
you're
you're
very much
audible.
audible.
Please.
Okay, thank you. So, good morning, everyone. President of today's function, former Vice Chancellor of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar University, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, and Chairman of Governing Body of Maharashtra Institute of Technology, Honorable Dr. Pandri Pandey sir, Guest of Honors, Sri Ram Bhogle sir, Sri Raman Asgaonkar sir, Sri Q. Prasad Jaju sir and Sri Sunil Sutavne sir, and the keynote speakers, Dr. Raj Agarwal sir, Dr. Nandita Mishra madam, Sri Harish Bilgi sir, my colleagues, Dr. Gautam Saha, Professor Srinivas Vaidya, and all other faculty members of MBA department, and my dear students and media persons. I, Dr. Santosh Bhosle, Director of Maharashtra Institute of Technology, welcome you all to this inaugural ceremony of Center for Corporate Learning, established by Department of Management Science of this institute. Let me take opportunity to introduce Maharashtra Institute of Technology to each one of you. Gramodyogik Shikshan Mandal, that is popularly known as GSM Aurangabad, is the parent trust established in the year 1975, which has established more than 20 institutes in Maharashtra, Delhi, and Uttar Pradesh. Maharashtra Institute of Technology, established in the year 2001 and popularly known as MIT Aurangabad, is one of them, approved by AICTE New Delhi and permanently affiliated to Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University Aurangabad. It offers 8 BTech courses, 4 MTech courses, and has approved research centers for PhD in mechanical engineering and electronics and telecommunication engineering. It also offers MBA program. National Assessment and Accreditation Council, that is NAAC, has accredited the institute with grade A, and recently UGC has granted autonomous status to this institute. MIT has got recognition from Department of Science and Industrial Research, that is DSIR, Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, as a Science and Industrial Research Organization, that is CIRO. MIT has been empaneled under Unnat Maharashtra Abhiyan and Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, which are the flagship programs of Government of Maharashtra and Government of India respectively. MIT is an approved ESCO, that is Energy Service Company, approved by Bureau of Energy Efficiency, Ministry of Power, Government of India. MIT has association with more than 300 companies for imparting 1 semester mandatory implant training for final year students. There are many more such achievements to the credit of this institute. However, because of short of time, I'll cut it short here only. On this occasion, I must congratulate Dr. Gautam Saha and entire Department of Management Sciences for this excellent initiative for establishing this Center for Corporate Learning. At operational level, as I understood, it is going to offer management development program, that is MDP, value added programs, VAP, and faculty development programs, that is FDP, and will cater to the training needs of persons from industry, students of engineering and management, and also their faculty members. Here I remember one small story. Once a HR head of a company went to his CEO and said to his CEO, "Sir, we are spending so much of money on training our people. What will happen to our organization if we train them and they leave the organization?" The CEO told the HR head, "See, my friend, we have to look at other round. We will have to see that if we don't train them and if they stay with the organization, what will happen to the organization?" So that is the importance of training that I understood from whatever I could learn till date. And I'm very happy that such kind of initiative is being taken by Department of Management Sciences, which will be with the help of the experts from the industry and educational sector, helping the industry persons, students, as well as faculty members of this region to develop in various areas of their concern. So wish you all the best, Saha sir and all the colleagues. And I also once again welcome all the guests and thank all of them for sparing their valuable time for this inaugural ceremony. Thank you everyone. Thank you, sir. Over to you. Over to you, Paul, sir. Sir, you are not audible.
Now? Okay.
Anand sir, you are not audible.
I think he has to unmute himself.
I have unmuted. Whether it is okay now?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir,
yes,
yes.
yes, yes. We can
It is
hear.
speaker problem. Anyhow, thank you very much, Santosh Bhosle, sir, for your initial speech. Now I request all the guests and specifically Dr. Pandari Pandey, the chairman of the governing body, to inaugurate the CCL function virtually. Sir.
I think with all the guests here together, we declare that this Center for Corporate Learning is being inaugurated today on 15 September, which is happened to be an Engineers Day.
Thank you, Pandari Pandey, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we go forward. We request Dr. Nandita Mishra ji, Director, CMIR Mumbai, for adding values and advising us with her valuable words and advice to us. Please, Nandita Mishra, ma'am. The
Okay,
platform
thank you,
is
sir.
yours.
Thank you. Yeah, dignitaries, now see, this is such a situation we can't say off the dais and on the dais. So all dignitaries online here with us, the chairman of MIT, our keynote speakers, guest of honors, and I think very, very eminent and esteemed members, those who are here. I don't know how to start this. Should I say that I'm very proud of seeing what MIT is doing? Or should I say, Dr. Shah, I am feeling jealous about this early move or the start that you have had. But that is all about, academics. And since you started with academics, let me tell you, you mentioned that this is a wheel and an axle thing. And that is the reason why we started you. The first speaker today is from academics. You have actually shown like what you are getting into MDPs, then you have the value-added projects or the value-added program, and then you have the MDPs. But before starting with that, let me give you the very concept, like what you are doing, how you are in the league of the higher education institution, the HEIs. You have already mentioned about your NAC accreditation, about the UGC autonomy that you have got. So you are right on the path. But in the days to come, maybe 2 years from now, what we are looking at according to the new education policy or the national education policy of 2020 is to see that all institutions, especially your institution, can go into an institution of higher education, that higher education institution. And the focus of higher education institution or NEP 2020 was, or is rather, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. Wherever we are doing any sessions or any kind of, such trainings, it is based on what is multidisciplinary and what is interdisciplinary. And your particular, this MIT group, you are into engineering, you have such a strong background of engineering as well as science, and then you are into management. If we look at the two main components of NEP, they have spoken about entrepreneurship and they have spoken about corporate readiness or multidisciplinary. Now, which other education, which other program or which other degree than management education caters to this? If you look at even being today an Engineers Day, so happy Engineers Day, I understand many of your engineers, because I could see the speakers are also from different automobile and other company, that MIT is a hub, you can say, of engineering. But everywhere a training is required. Now, I'm going to tell you, like, to whatever time I've got to speak is, as a management institutes, what we have been doing and what one should do, so that we are on the same track, on the right track, that all the things that is considered by a management institute to deliver, as well as by the industry, as well as by what NEP says, and getting ourselves focused into the higher education institution. Now, why is, first of all, this center, you could have just called it an MDP center, but I think very intelligently the step is taken that you are calling it as a center, which is almost like a center of excellence. Because under that center of corporate learning, CCL, which you're taking, you can put FDPs, you can put MDPs and value-added projects. For instance, let me tell you, you will find, and this is mainly for the faculty who are attending this, and this is exactly what we are doing at our institute here. You could, incubate a particular project. You have a particular, there are many companies, there are, software companies, automobile companies, many SMEs are there, MSMEs are there. So they might be facing with a particular challenge in marketing, particular challenge in having digital marketing, particular challenge in having strategies. So you don't have to shoulder, or you don't, as an entrepreneur, you don't have to launch a particular product. You can incubate the idea. When you incubate that particular idea under this cell, it becomes your incubation or innovation. And this is what you are doing. You are not investing or doing anything on it. You are just giving them ideas. So to develop these ideas, who is going to work on this? The faculty is going to work on the marketing strategy. The faculty is going to work on different strategies on the finance. So the faculty also develop themselves into understanding what is to be recommended and who is working on these labs. Who will be working on these labs? We will see that our students will be working on these labs, whether it is a business development activity that they are going to do, or they are going to, incubate the idea. See, sometimes what happens, the students say that they will have to make a lot of calls to as a business developer. But let me tell you, even sitting here on this chair as a director and all of you there, till date, your selling has never ended and it is not going to end. The premise on which business stays is selling. So what I'm trying to tell you is, under this particular center, you could incubate this idea. And when you incubate this idea, your faculty gets trained, they work on these things. Students get trained on a different life project. So this comes as the value added of the life projects. And what is the corporate, center of corporate learning? These companies to whom you are going to be, as a strategy or as a mentor, you could do the training for them. You will also see that these companies have under them, they have different client companies where your training requirements could be there. So I'm just giving you the roadmap, how from one simple single idea, this can start, one incubation. On the other hand, Dr. Shah, and I think your dean also mentioned, and the director also mentioned about research. Now, from where is research going to come? Sitting in my classroom or on the desk and doing some desk research is not going to help the industry. And that is why industry time and again has said that the research from the academics is not helping us. So the moment you have a center for corporate learning, you could, reach out to these industries and find out what is the research area that is required. What can we research and give? So who works on this research paper? Again, your faculty works, your students do the data collection, your students know how to reach out to. So this is the way you also, and then you could have your book publications and you could give live projects to the student. So you don't have to, scout outside. It is within your center of corporate learning. You are getting that entire matrix of what the institute is supposed to do. When any type of, if you look at the NIRF ranking now, or you look at any of the participations, that everywhere they are asking on incubation of ideas, industry institute partnership, and every now and then AICT asks about this MOUs. You now with this CCL, and what we actually serious institutes do is we don't look outside. It is already the MOU is with us under the CCL, the Center of Corporate Learning. You could do that. So there are lots and lots of activities. Now you can also train the faculty, because the faculty, what they can do this industry what is that called, project, internship project. Along with the student, you place the faculty for 10 days, 15 days, let them understand the industry project. That becomes their research paper, that becomes their PhD, some those who are non-PhD, that becomes their PhD thesis. So you are what is happening to many of these places, because I'm sure that soon you will also have your research center. So in the research center, you don't have to scratch your head thinking that what should be the topic. Go to the industry, find out what are the research areas. So when the students register with you, these are the research ideas which you can give the students, and your research ideas and themes are ready. And that when you give to the industry, our academic research is of importance to them. Otherwise, just writing and finding about the bell curve and how many people are there online, it is not going to benefit either them or to us. And the skill difference, the FICCI report that says that only 46% of our engineers are employable, and to that it is very, very low because entrepreneurship is very low. Why you think entrepreneurship is not there? Why we think that employability is not there? Because we have not incubated these ideas. The students think that the moment they come to a management institute, they should go out with a job. Undoubtedly, they go out with a job. But during that, are they acquiring the skills which is required? That is entrepreneurship, risk-taking, taking the team along. Which other, cell is going to do this? It is the center of this excellence in learning. So coming to the PhD point, I was saying, your PhD topics will be ready. Your faculty, those who are doing, or the PhD, those who are pursuing, they can do a PhD on this. Data collection will happen. And at the same time, if this faculty and already the faculty, those who are paid, they come together and they have seminars and webinars on each day, like faculty seminars, you can call it. So the knowledge get disseminated and you build new knowledge, new requirement. You could have your case book, your case study books from this immediately, because the idea is with you and you are not stealing anybody's idea, not working on anybody's idea. It's a fresh new idea, small case studies, caselets. Your students are going to get fresh caselets, fresh case studies. You don't have to go on what is happening in New York or what is happening in Harvard or in Yale. You have to have case studies which are to be according to my location. And why we don't have this? It is because in India, especially in our type of education, we have never honored that, going to the industry, finding out the research program. Probably NEP is looking at targeting at that. Now, I think I have very small, because I can go on and on this. I'll tell you, I worked with MDI, Management Development Institute of Gurgaon, but when they started in Murshidabad, the first thing they did is in 2010-11, when we inaugurated it, the admission of the students happened only in 2014 or 15. But for 2 years, by then, of course, I had left and gone to IMI, and both the institutes are known for development programs. MDI name itself is Management Development Institute. Why you think in 1981 they started it? It is because at that time, there were not enough training for the managers. So what they asked us to do, this 2 years of existence in Kolkata, what you try to do is you just do MDPs. So we did MDPs for the banks, we did MDPs for all the public sector, because MDI is known to be there. So the moment we did that, branding of the institute happened automatically. We never had to tell anyone to do any separate branding for Management Development Institute Murshidabad. See how in branding within that doing MDPs, it happened, and automatically when they launched, they knew that the faculty are capable of training and teaching the industry don't you think they will be capable to train the students? And that is the first main reason why I always say that have MDPs. It is because when you go to talk to the industry, your preparedness, your level is definitely much higher up and raked up, and you prepare at that level. Plus, what happens during the discussion, you bring that back again to the classrooms. That is my mainstay of MDP, why I always say. But yes, of course, MDP is also another source of revenue. It is a stream of revenue. That revenue where the NBA or the NAC gives almost 75 points. Why do you think that 75 points out of 1,000 or 100 marks, you can say, is given to us? It is because to see whether faculty have trained themselves over the years to deliver that to the industry, because MDPs bring in, you are revisiting the concept. The concept of consumer behavior has changed. The concept of point of purchase has changed. The concept of advertisement has changed. It is now storytelling and online. Where am I going to reskill already my alumni, those who have graduated, say 5 years, 6 years back? Have a training for them. You could make it at a very, very economical price. So it is a homecoming for them where you develop your alumni base, and at the same time, you're again reskilling. And let this alumni mentor your students. So you could equally have that. So your alumni mentorship program is taken care of. The only thing is that we just need to, focus on certain things. In an MDP, we question different basics. And I always, in company MDPs are generally done where I take a particular consultancy of, say, a XYG company and do only the training for them. But very, very effective training are open MDPs where participants and nominations come from different industries. So I have across different verticals people attending, and they have a lot of cross-functional discussions and a lot of ideas. And that is the time you realize that you are not alone in the boat. There are many people facing this particular challenge, which your industry or your particular organization is doing. And as you rightly said, for every manager, there is a role, of as they grow up on the leadership ladder. How are you going to reskill that? I know certain things, but I have not revisited it. My team is not able to tell me that, madam, you're very difficult to work with. You do something, ma'am, we can't. But the moment these people go to training and we train them what is required, and this is the feedback that has come, probably the people in the higher order learning will also know better. So I would like to take a very, very detailed session with all of you, and that would be my honor because I have, a dignitary sitting here. But as I say, when there is a storm, some people build castles and some people build windmills. So you decide whether you want to be in the castle or you want to be in the windmill. But I think looking at MIT and the success what you have done, you are all ready to go. So a big, big congratulations to all of you with that again. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Anand sir, you are not audible again.
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Dr. Nandita Mishra, ma'am. It was really a great advice, and it was really excellent to listen to you. I just recall the idea incubation and roadmap for the R&D. So we'll definitely, CCL will work on these two basic ideas which you have given to us. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, being a pandemic situation, will not be able to offer you a physical memento, but we want to give a appreciation memento to you. So I hope we'll request you to accept. So this is certificate of appreciation presented to Dr. Nandita Mishra, ma'am, Director CIMR, Mumbai. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot
It's
for
my
your
honor.
valuable time.
And we would also like to collaborate wherever there is any place or space, wherever we can. I would like to collaborate, and handholding would be there from both the institutes. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you for all your blessings, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now I request Mr. Harish Bilgi Head BD Modern Elite Sharjah, to speak on this auspicious occasion of CCL inauguration and express his views about CCL idea. Thank you very much, Bilgi sir.
Thank you, Mr. Anand Pole. I remember in the year 1984, our inter-university cricket matches were held at Baroda. Our team had reached a couple of days earlier and wanted to get a feel of turf wicket. Those days in Aurangabad, we used to play on what is called as matting surfaces. I don't know the state today. The first day when we went for this net practice on Motibagh ground, instead of practicing, we all gathered around net of one particular batsman who was knocking. He was captain of Mumbai University. Technically brilliant, sublime. He had all the strokes from the cricketing manual. We were mesmerized for the entire 1 hour. And he was none other than Sanjay Manjrekar. Today, I am getting similar feeling. Looking at such wonderful professional Galaxy of speakers like Dr. Nandita Mishra, Dr. Raj Agrawal, Mr. Ram Bhogle, I am really at loss to what can I contribute. Dr. Santosh Bhosle, respected director of MIT Aurangabad, Honorable Chairman Dr. Vijay Pandari Pandey, Dr. Gautam Saha, Dean and Professor of MIT, eminent guests, business leaders, the organizing committee of MIT's Department of Management Studies, my fellow keynote speakers, my dear MBA students, good morning from Dubai. Let me begin by congratulating the Institute for conceiving this novel concept. For me, this is like a finishing school, a grooming school. CCL, Center for Corporate Learning, will act like a link between young managers' aspiration and industry's expectation. Today, my contribution will be from a global viewpoint. Having spent over 3.5 decades of my professional life in Middle East, working with 80 plus countries, with customers ranging right from Bolivia to Brisbane and from Siberia to South Africa, mine will be a totally different take on this subject matter. I'm sure the STEM Institute had chalked out a wonderful curriculum for all those who will be entering this CCL. Keeping in pace with this fast-changing VUCA world, the Institute will equip students with all kinds of hard skills. Mastering these hard skills will open the doors for you all in the corporate world. But I'm a firm believer that it is your mastery or soft skills which will propel you further. Dr. Gautam Saha mentioned about wheel and axle analogy. I would add that soft skill will act like the ball bearing, which will make you run faster. Hard skills will enable you to take off, but the soft skill is which will give you that escape velocity, which will put you in a trajectory of this corporate world. According to me, there are 3 important soft skills any budding manager must harness. There are in fact many, but I have chosen 3. I call it CCL. Like the Center of Corporate Learning, my CCL stands for communication, curiosity, and lifelong learner's attitude. First C, communication is by far most important soft skill you must master. Because when you enter a corporate world, you will be delivering information, responding, communicating verbally, using emails, brainstorming, negotiating, resolving conflicts, communicating goals, writing reports, recognizing teammates, even reprimanding them, doing business presentations. In short, in all walks of corporate life, you will be communicating. Now, there is a common misconception about communication, that one must be a very good speaker, one should have flair in English, one should be like a Shashi Tharoor. No, my dear friends. According to me, communication is language agnostic. As long as you articulate well, you deliver well, and you speak from your heart with that conviction, you will be a good communicator. The first step in becoming a good communicator is to become a good listener. Someone has beautifully put it that biggest communication problem is that we don't listen to understand. We listen to respond. We listen to reply. Remember, C stands for communication, because a good communicator is the bridge between confusion and clarity. Today, I feel blessed because I'll be speaking alongside one of my early communication mentors. He is there in this lineup of speakers, none other than Mr. Shiv Prasad Jaju. Jaju sir, thank you for hand-holding and giving me that confidence. The second C stands for curiosity. Keep that child in you alive. Develop that habit of asking questions. Over practice, you will start asking right questions. Develop that consultant's mindset. This skill will help you solve problems effectively. It will make you think out of box. It will develop your peripheral vision and allow you a 360-degree view of the problem. Great Albert Einstein once said that I have no special talent. I am only a passionately curious boy. He also went on to say that mind that opens to new idea never returns to its original size. The only way to expand your skills is to be curious. Remember, second C stands for curiosity. Curiosity is that spark behind a spark of every great idea. Future belongs to the curious. Third soft skill, L. Become or develop that lifelong learner's attitude. Be a learner. Be Kaizen. Let Kaizen become part of your DNA. Modern careers is like standing on a conveyor belt which is moving. You have to keep moving, keep running, keep in pace with the conveyor belt, no matter at what stage of career you are. This will keep you agile, this will keep you adaptable, it will enable you to embrace change. Last week, we saw that news of Ford Motors India operation wound up. Did you know why? One of the reasons, according to me, is that they failed to keep moving and learning with time. They failed to meet the ever-growing aspirations of Indian market, which Koreans and Japanese were able to identify and meet. I remember a joke here. There was one particular gentleman who was voted as the best CEO of the world that year, and everyone wanted to interview him. And he was so busy that he was not offering any time for this interview. One fine day, as he was just coming out of his house and walking towards his car in the parking lot, one journalist popped up. And she ran to him and said, sir, please, sir, 1 minute, 1 minute. He said, yes, sir, you are the best CEO of the world. Can you tell us what made you best CEO of the world? He smirked. He looked at the journalist and said, it was all because of my good decisions. I said, oh, good decision. But sir, how do you take good decision? It is my good experience. But sir, how do you get good experience? Because of my bad decisions. That was the reply. Dear friends, even bad decisions can be source of learning. Just let me conclude by repeating my CCL mantra. Hone your communication skill, be a curious child, stay an eternal learner. CCL. These are 3 important soft skills you should imbibe. I'm confident that your institute would be putting in extra efforts to harness all these soft skills and fit those ball bearings in that axle and in between that wheel. Let me once again thank the organizers for extending this invitation to me and wishing you all the best to CCL. Allow me to end this address with a beautiful quote of Sir Mokshagundam Vishwesharya. I quote, no one person can shape the life of another. Your success and happiness depends upon yourself. Think of yourself and plan your life, unquote. So dear friends, dear students, develop your soft skill. It will take you far and wide. Over to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Bilgi sir. we were thinking of Center for Corporate Learning, and you have given a new definition for CCL, that is communication, curiosity, and learning. So we definitely would like to be ball bearing for this new definition of CCL. Thank you very much, sir, for all the good words which you have said and your blessings which you have offered during your inaugural speech. Thank you very much, sir. As a part of honoring you, we'll be definitely presenting the e-memento.
She has to give a super special gift.
So we request you to accept the e-memento and bless us for all future activities of CCL. Thank you very much, sir. So nice of you.
Thank you very much. It's a great honor to accept this. Thank you very much.
Sir. So nice of you. Thank you very much. Now, I'll request Dr. Harish Bilgi. I'll request Mr. Raj Agarwal for presenting his views, and he'll be talking about the VUCA conditions, volatile conditions which we are facing presently. Thank you very much. I hand over the stage to Agarwal, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Vijay Pandhari Pandey, Dr. Santosh Bogle, Dr. Nandita Mishra, Dr. Gautam Saab, and Mr. Harish Bilgi, and other distinguished guests. It is really a matter of honor to be a part of this webinar organized by MIT. And this particular center definitely is a right approach for creating a linkages between industry and education. I joined my second job from Allahabad to New Delhi in AIU, Association of Indian Universities. The first project which was assigned to me, that was on university industry interaction, and that was the project of Ministry of HRD, then Ministry of HR. And for that particular project, I visited, I suppose that 50 to 60 universities in India. And what happened that again this 4 years back, this AICT Board of Studies, as well as this the AICT chairman suggested us to do a study in that particular area. And then under the chairmanship of Dr. Reddy, he is the chairman of this IT Chennai. We conducted a study. This SOCHM, FICCI, CII, and then this NESCOM. Yeah. So again, this is what that I find that issues were similar. Similar that what were noticed in 1988 as far as the interaction between university and industry was considered. But during that time, we realized that number of engineering colleges and number of management institute, because in 1988, I think that hardly there were 25, 30 management institute, they were existing, and few university departments were having the MBA program. Likewise, this privatization as far as engineering education was considered, that was almost negligible. But after 1991, this reconstitution of this AICT, this number of management institute, universities, and number of engineering colleges increased tremendously. But what we noticed the challenges, major challenges, whatsoever were there. So they were still existing somewhere in 2017-18. First, which I noticed, in fact, by doing this research in 88, that this is a university-industry interaction. This is a kind of cosmetic arrangement between institute as well as industry. Hmm. Uh, and again in 2017, we noticed that this cosmetic arrangement, this may be having little bit more colors, but still barring few institutions, as Dr. Nandita has pointed out, that this was simply a cosmetic arrangement. And during this particular time, we too have this analyzed in a context of developing countries also. So we find that this why this is a cosmetic arrangement, because on a name of this university-industry interaction, and specifically because I belong to management education, what is happening that inviting some faculty, some industry people for lecture, then contacting industry for internship, inviting industry for summer placement, then this for in some good institute for some short period of time, 1 year, 2 years, or even in some specialized institute, there are this chair, and this L&T chair, or this is what Crompton and Gribbs chair. These kind of chairs for professors are going to be created. Likewise, this is what that some faculty, they are going to industry to write cases. That too is happening in a very few institutes. Some faculty members, they are taking sabbatical and they are going to industry, working there, doing research. And when we compare with the other nations, developed nations like US, so this is what that this industry is adopting to a university for a lifelong. Lifelong means that there is a continuous process. This university is going to be a research and development center. And if we see the most of the emerging technologies which has given this industrial revolution 4, this has all started, this research all started from universities, and from universities there was a very effective and very deep rooted university industry interaction, right? So here definitely there is a very wide scope that how this is going to be very, very effective, because although this is quite disputable as well as controversial, that this graduates which are coming out from MBA institute, or as well as from this engineering college, they are not employable. But the basic reason when we talk about the gap, so then we find that there is a gap, and this gap is definitely is existing, and somehow this gap is widening. During that time, this one study, this is which we quoted also, that what was happening, that the kind of changes which are taking place in industry are very very fast, and the changes which are taking in industry, and specifically in last 4-5 years, and specifically in 2 years, the kind of changes, the kind of digitization even in India which has taken place, it is very fast. And to university or to institute to adopt these changes, or to conceptualize these changes in a form of theory or in a form of teaching, this is very slow. So because of this reason, there is a gap between university as well as institute. And because of this gap, what happens that industry so many times will come to placement or so many other activities, they notice that what is happening, that these students are not well prepared, or they are not well equipped, because most of them, they are giving one explanation, that we have to retrain them. We have to, so then why there is a need to take MBA graduates? It's better to take undergraduate, or it's better to take graduates if we have to retrain them, right? And the basic reason, the kind of gaps which is existing, that there is a need, deep rooted interaction between university and industry, not only on something that you see that this grading is going to be there, or this accreditation is going to give the marks. So this is what that deep rooted, this first time in this new education policy, this concept has been visualized. But what is most important part, that how this is going to be implemented, this is very, very important part, because already these 2 years have been passed. Even this basic legislative framework is not ready. And when we are talking about this implementation, and when we are talking this particular area, that this new education policy has rightly envisaged three kind of universities. This is what teaching universities, research universities, and then autonomous institutions. So here in this research universities, definitely there is a very wide scope, that universities or institute which are completely dedicated for this particular purpose, research, for an effective interaction between industry and university, from where this research is coming out, research which is going to make sense, which is going to contribute towards, not towards industrial development, but towards the development of this society. You see that here at present, this in a corona time, we faced, are still facing the issue in agriculture, issue of this supply chain. We face the issue of this MSME sector, where this resilience, sustainability of Indian economy is dependent. Export of Indian economy is dependent. The kind of this digitization, or the kind of changes and kind of this adoption of this new technology, what was required in this particular area, that was lacking. Why this was lacking? Simply because the ideas, new approaches from academia, which could have been implemented, which could have been provided them in a form of training program, in a form of this NDPs, that was lacking. So here I'm not talking about few institutions, but what is most important part, that in India we have quite large number of institutions. We have the basics, agriculture, MSMEs, that needs to be integrated. That's require this new kind of this new know-how, that requires new kind of researches, that requires integration with the technological development. This requires integration with industry 4. So for that purpose, this academia is having a very good option, or very good opportunity. And rather, you see that this emphasizing on this certain aspects, which is definitely going to help to large scale industries. But what is important, that how this kind of this approach, this kind of ecosystem, this is going to be created. So here this role of academia definitely is very, very important. And only then the kind of this gaps which are existing, this is going to be taken care, because my organization is highly devoted for the purpose of this industry, as well as this academia development. Every day we are having some kind of program, some MTP, some conferences. This is what that the shaping young mind program where 2,000 students they are participating. On 22nd, 23rd we have this National Management Convention where this 15,000 they are participating. But you see that I too realize that here fine, this India is very vast country, and we have to take into consideration that this integration, this education, as well as this input which is coming from education, this should reach to the masses. And when we talk about the masses, when we talk about the profession, so then this agriculture and MSME sector is going to be very, very important. Here you see that if we can find it out a niche or areas, here if we can do this deep-rooted research, or if industry can come forward by creating a effective linkages, we can definitely do a lot of work for the betterment of society as well as this development of society. So this is what that areas which are currently required. Now, this new education policy definitely is they have created a fund. This, although again, this bill for that purpose, this 50,000 crore, I suppose, that has been provided only for this purpose, for this industry interaction, as well as each university, they have been suggested to set up this industrial cell. But again, this bill needs to be passed. And then this norms that how this is going to be this approach is going to be created, so by which we can identify the areas which can benefit to the society at a large, means that the benefit of this academia can reach to the masses, as or we can take the effective support help by interacting with industry. So in my opinion, that is very much required. So with these words, I think that I'll stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Agrawal ji. The inputs and the suggestions which you have given are definitely noted. And I would like to add one more thing captured from your speech. That is, the industry and institute coordination is must. And we are talking of industry 4.0, but we are not talking, or we are nowhere near to education 4.0. So MBA CCL of MIT is definitely talking about education 4.0. May take some time, but this is the beginning. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and the suggestions and the time which you have spared for us. We'd like to appreciate you by offering e-memento.
Thank
you. Yes, thank you very much, sir. So nice of you. Please accept our certification of appreciation for your participation and for your valuable time. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now it's a great honor to call upon Dr. V.M. Pandri Pandey, Chairman Governing Body of MIT, to speak and give his blessings for this CCL project. Pandri Pandey, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Principal Professor Bhosle, Dean Professor Saha, Dr. Nandita Mishra, Dr. Harish Pilgi, Dr. Raj Agrawal, Sri Ram Bokle, Sri Asgaonkar, Sri Sutavne, and the faculty of MIT, staff, and distinguished invitees to this program, my dear students. It's really a great honor for me to be present here amongst so many experts from industry and listen to them. I'm also happy that after I have taken over as the chairman governing body of this prestigious institute, MIT, this is the first program, and that too on the auspicious Engineers Day it has been organized, So I congratulate entire team of this Department of Management for this excellent idea of Center for Corporate Learning. My short stay in the Marathwada region as the Vice Chancellor of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University has taught me a great lesson at the back end of my life. What I have observed, that there is enough talent in this Marathwada region, excellent talent, but it's accompanied by shadow of inferiority complex. Everybody feels no, that we are backward. This inferiority complex has to be removed first. That is our foremost responsibility, to remove this inferiority complex, and we need to bring this youth to the mainstream. We have to impress upon them that there is nothing impossible. We have to boost their confidence, prepare them for the 21st century, where technology is overpowering the human brain. As we know, in this century, the boom of so-called artificial intelligence, biotechnology, information technology, nanotechnology, robotics, all this is going to change the industry corporate field in the next few decades. Even the nature of the job will going to change. Routine job will disappear. People are used to, 10 to 5 type of working culture, office culture. That already has changed as we see in the last 2 years. This youth must be prepared for lifelong learning, accepting new challenges, going beyond syllabus, textbooks, expose them to the real world, that everything is out of syllabus when they go in the real field of working. They should not demand jobs. People are always now, I find there's a lot of displeasure that they are not getting jobs. In fact, we need to create entrepreneurs. Those will not demand the jobs, but they will create the jobs, they will offer the jobs. They should be told about the challenges at the workplace, which they are not aware of, how to handle in emergency situations. We all have experienced in the last couple of years, few months, what changes. The entire education system has changed. Entire industrial approach has changed. Entire government working has changed. No one imagined such a situation. And unfortunately, we have to give more stress on quality rather than the quantity. That has, unfortunately, we always give importance to quantity, and that has happened. Number of engineering college, number of MBA college, number of higher learning institutions, that has increased. It has obviously given chance to more and more number of students. They are able to become engineers, they are able to become managers. But what about quality? As far as international ranking is concerned, as far as the international global competition is concerned, we are always lagging behind, and there has to be an internal search that why this is happening, in spite of facilities being there, in spite of the number of institutes being there. Unfortunately, the training which we are giving is, more or less, a lot of theoretical. Therefore, when you are organizing this training program, you may have to downplay technical skills or analytical skills and give more importance, emphasis on general purpose skills. We have also to create the ability in this young generation to deal with the change. As I told, the technology is changing at a great speed. Therefore, ability to change, this we must learn, because we have already gone from offline mode to the online mode, and we are seeing both advantages and disadvantages. See, earlier, any program you want to organize, seminar or conference, or a guest lecture. We had to limit ourselves between 10 to 5 business. That 10 to 5 is the timing of the institute. So your seminar or webinar or guest lecture has to be organized between 10 to 5. But now that restriction need not be there. If any faculty from United States is available, let us say at 8 p.m. in the night, we can still organize that guest lecture at 8 o'clock in the night. Nobody prevents us. People will join online for such a lecture. Then we have to learn the new things and preserve our mental balance in unfamiliar situations. You see, whenever you join industry, whenever you join any corporate organization, you do not know. You will have to face a very unfamiliar situation which you never thought of. Even if you think of a doctor, he has been taught about how to operate in a particular situation. But when he opens the body, the doctor may face a situation or a condition which he was not taught. It is beyond textbook. And he has to take instantaneous decisions at that moment. So our training program, our mental training must be such that you prepare them to unfamiliar situation. Prepare them for unfamiliar situation. Another thing, when we talk about the personality development programs and this thing, I think we forget about character. There is a very distinguished difference, clear difference between character and personality. Of course, these are two sides of the same coin. But we are, in our education system, we are not giving that importance to the character building, and we are only thinking of personality development, personality building. Of course, character cannot be seen, but personality is visible. We are giving too much importance to this visible thing that is called as personality. But character is the heart of existence. Character is a heart of existence, whereas a personality is a part of existence. Please remember. And therefore, I always believe that if you if you have read the biography or autobiography of Steve Jobs, Apple company head, you see, this person, till the age of 22 or 20, he was nothing. He just was a graduate computer engineer, that's all. In fact, he was so much confused at the age of 22 that the Steve Jobs came to India, went to Himalaya for 1 or 2 years. And then after this 1 or 2 years of stay in Himalaya, he went back to the United States and then started this company. And he had a hardly real life of only 20 years, because at the age of 44, he died of a cancer. But imagine what he has done in those 20 years. He was only for quality. He was saying, my company will only look for will give the best and nothing less than the best. So this urge to give best. You see the way in which he hired people from different Coca-Cola company, this company, because he wanted the best person as a financial manager, best person for quality assurance, best person for the design, best person for hardware development. He never compromised on the quality. So this not compromising quality is very, very important. Another thing, when we talk about the interaction between industry and academic institutions, see, people keep on organizing these workshops, seminars on this institute industry interaction. Do you feel that by those 3 days workshop in a 5-star hotel, you gain something? No. Nothing happens unless you go to the industry and industry people comes to you on one-to-one basis for a talk. Otherwise, you see, in AICT syllabus for all engineers, we have kept industrial training, industrial internship, etc. But we all know, with thousands and lakhs of students, How is it possible to see that this industrial training park, which has got 2 credits or 4 credits, is really effective? It is not effective. The person goes to some industry, stays there for 1 hour or 2 hours, come back, write some report, somebody signs that report, he gets, his viva is conducted, and that's all. But real purpose is not so. Same thing is about the research. The research which we are conducting to lead to the PhD degree. You ask those who have got PhD degrees, ask them, who has used your work? Which industry has used your work? Which government organization has your work utilized your research output? I can assure you, 95%, I may be exaggerating, maybe, but 90 to 95% PhD theses are of no use. I'm making a blunt statement, are of no use to any industry. You just get a degree, complete your viva, complete your formalities for the degree, but your PhD thesis lies in Godrej Almera, or it carries a dust in the library. Nothing beyond that. How can we make our research useful for the industry? Yes, you can say that I take up a problem from the industry or any corporate organization or from government organization, or a solve from a problem of farmer in Marathwada region. You know, all farmers are, most of the farmers are committing suicides. They are under bad conditions. They are having a lot of debts. Why such situation is there? How to solve this problem? Can you help? See, we cannot help. I mean, we cannot depend on the government to solve all problems. If government solves all problems, then what for the educational institutions are there? We have to solve the problem. We have to help the government. We have to help the industry. So I think we have to create a situation, and I am hopeful that this Center for Corporate Learning will play a constructive and positive role in this direction. Just simply organizing training programs will not help. You will have to concentrate on problem solving. Take the help. See, engineer is with you for 4 years. MBA student is with you for 2 years. And who is with you? You have a youth in the age of 2022, full of zeal, full of energy. Make use of these young people to solve the problem of industry. It is not completing syllabus, getting grades is one part of the problem. It is, in my opinion, it is secondary. The first primary goal should be to prepare them for tomorrow's world. Because I tell you, our grandchildren must have a better world than what we face. Unfortunately, are we giving them better world? No. We are giving them polluted world. And why that small girl like a Greta Thunberg has to carry out agitation and close the school, and she is asking students to come out of the schools because she is worried. What type of the world we are giving to this tomorrow's young people? We have to give them better world, better than us. So we have to create a situation. You have to create an environment. You have to create a world which is better than today. Tomorrow has to be better than today. Today has to be better than yesterday. I think with that aim, one should move. I'm sure situation will change and we will be able to be compete at the global level. I congratulate all the Professor Saha and his team and entire MIT group for starting this school center. But I would expect them to be on the self-sustaining mode. They should not ask money. They should earn the money for their own living. So if they can self-sustain the program, I will be very happy. Yes, you can, initial stages, you may need take some seed money, as they call it. But afterwards, this center has to run on the self-sustaining mode. I wish you all the best. Thank you very much. And I also thank all the distinguished speakers who have given them real, very good advice on this topic. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. The most important lesson which you have given to us today is to build the character building, because personality building is definitely part of the education, but building character is also one of the important things which you said that must be part of the CCL. Thank you very much, sir. Your point is definitely noted by CCL. Now I'll request
Not audible.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. And the most important, which you said, is character building is definitely noted, and will definitely work towards character building along with the personality development also. Thank you very much, sir, for all your kind words. Now, actually, it's the Bhishma Pitamaha of Marathwada industry. I'll request Mr. Ramchandra Bhogle to, I think unfortunately he has lost the connection. So he's not on the platform right now, but we'll move towards next speaker. That is, I'll request Mr. Ramana Ajgaonkar, President of Confederation of Indian Industry, Marathwada Chamber, to come on the platform and give his words and the blessings for the new activity of CCL. Ramana Ajgaonkar, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Anand.
Thank you very much.
First,
sir. Thank you.
First line, yes. I think I am audible. The way you answer.
Very much.
First of all, wish you all a happy Engineers Day, because the engineers are the one who do development on day in, day out basis, and you as a elite team, you are doing the same. Maybe you may be engineer by profession, or may not be engineer by profession, by education, but by the way of profession, you all are engineers. That's what I want to say. First of all, let me extend my congratulations to entire team. Dr. Santosh Bhosle, Dr. Vijay Pandre sir, it was nice hearing you once again for a long gap. Dr. Gautam Saha, and also elite person, keynote speakers, Dr. Raj Agrawal and Mr. Harish Birgi, the always one who has inspired me from from my college days. It way back to 30 years. And I would be happy to also have an advice from Mr. Ram Bhogle sir and Mr. Sunil Sutawani, and also Mr. Munish Sharma. First of all, I congratulate and thank MIT team for putting this in the very forefront, that Center for Corporate Learning. So this is a very big missing link between the passing out students and the team required for running the corporates. It is CCL. I just wanted to mention one part, as Harish was very much elaborate, but I would like to mention it is seeing and again seeing L for leadership, learning for leadership. And all the businesses, all the corporates move around this leadership part to be either excellent or getting out of the business. Just now, as some of the eminent speakers have given the examples of Ford right now, which face the closure in our market. It is all about leadership. And what is about leadership then? Leadership, many of us say it is learning and learning. But let me put my word, it first starts with unlearning. The part of unlearning is very much kept on backside, and hence at a stage, most of us from the corporate have, we come at a wall blockage, that what to do next. I am trying and not going ahead, because the part of unlearning is missed. So it is unlearn, relearn, and move ahead. Starting from the leadership point, I would like to highlight some of the points which most of the part leadership means it starts with self. What is about leadership? Leadership is main about creating more leaders. The one when you come in corporate, you learn from your seniors, your peers, and start learning and learning. And one fine day you are elevated. You have a team with you, a big team with you, and at that point it starts that you have to inspire your team to move up the value chain. So you create the leaders, so you move forward. The other part which also Harish mentioned, that leaders are there to ask the right question at right time. And somebody mentioned about communication also. I have read a part which I would like to tell here once more, that the real art of communication, because leadership is everything, communication in words, in communication in practice, communication in actions. But what about the words? What I have read is the real part of communication is not only to say the right words at the right time, but also to leave unsaid the wrong words at most tempting moments. What happens is when you are doing right things and something is going wrong, you are there at the center, you are delivering something and something odd has happened. You just try and put it in a very soft words or leave it aside and do it in some other way, so that the human on the other side gets ignited, inspired, and moves like you. Also, most of the time, as Mr. Agrawal, Dr. Agrawal has touched upon the VUCA world, that world is changing and changing. Earlier, we used to have a long-term vision of say 10 years and 15 years. Now the long-term vision is of just 3 years. In this VUCA world, everything is changing very fast. So learning and implementing, learning and implementing is the key to the growth. So without implementing, we just then will have to be one of the faculty only, and when we get the implementation, we move the value chain. The critical part about the leadership is most of the time the things are moving in the world in a very rapid stage that we get outdated day in and day out. So it is with us what we have to work. What from yesterday I have learned today? What is the correction I have done today? Or what are the learning of today that I have to implement in the coming days? During the start, it is good that you learn, but when you move up the middle management or the top management, then working on today's problem shows that we are already back by minimum 3 years. So the leaders have to work upon the problems that they foresee coming after 2, 3, 4 years. This is the part, this is the way where we have most of some corporates, you say that they are corporate excellent. Why they are excellent? Because they foresee the problems 3, 4, 5 years down the line and start taking action right now today, implement it today. That is the part. Then most of the teachers which I have leaders, they have one part that is common with our teachers, that is training the team. And how much should they themselves be trained? They should be always be trained more than the team, because they have to lead the team. So they have to be trained more than the team. And rightly said by Dr. Pandari Pandey that they have to, growth is bound to come, but leaders have to take growth by ethical means only. That is the part of character building that is to be blended with the leadership, so that in any circumstances, the decisions are taken in an ethical way for growth. Growth is bound to happen. Growth will be there. just one point more I would add. There are some points, but one point I will add, that generally when we move, we go, or we tend to go by the figures. Last year we were here. This year we are here. Next year we have a projection of here. But there is a fine line between that. We have to focus on a rate of improvement. The rate of improvement is more important than absolute figure. I don't say that absolute figures are not important, but what is more important, the rate of improvement. What I have improved, it is what we practice in our companies, is a daily small improvement. Daily, but small and daily. It tends to do miracles. After say 2-3 months down the line, everything is new, everything is changed. And in that concept, we are driving the products, the profits, everything. Growth is bound to come with you. And one more point I wanted to add. There are some thought process that X and X person, so and so person is very perfect. We have to be like that. That is the perfection. Yes, definitely. But progress is more important than perfection. The little progress you do from yesterday is more important, is far more important to go up to perfection, because these small changes will ultimately lead you to perfection. They will lead you to perfection, no doubt about it, because you are improving on yourself, what you have done yesterday. So perfection will also bound to come, growth is bound to come. You just have to focus on small developments daily, small learnings daily. And rightly, as you have put, is this management part. What is corporate excellence? Corporate is everything about people, and managing the people is itself is a business management. What are you managing the business? You are managing the people, and people have vast chances of improvement. Suppose they will be changing. If we keep a thought that these and these is the thought process, then we are assuming that with this thought process will come, and we bound to give the solution which are going to fail, because we have not unlearned that they are human beings and they are going to change. Change is permanent, so the human being will change. So we have to move ahead. Secondly, from product point of view, I just wanted to put some facts ahead, that people don't buy products, people buy value for the products. And we need to focus what value addition our product is giving them will only keep us sustainable in market in coming days. As the value decreases, our relevance of our product diminishes and we get out of the market. So always we have to work on the value addition of the product, so that we are always relevant and we stay ahead in the market. For that, generally we ought to know who is our primary customer and who is our secondary customer. Secondary means when our customer does some work on that product and then he moves it ahead, she moves it ahead. So we have to take in consideration who is our primary customer and who is our secondary customer, so that we have to add the value for the secondary customer, and the primary customer will take us ahead. There are many things, but last but not the least, there are many times when we bound to say that so and so person has so and so years of experience in this field, so and so years of experience in this field. I would like to put upon one part, that experience per year count more than number of years. That was the last point from my side, and thank you for giving this opportunity for the inauguration ceremony. And it will be a lifetime remembrance for me also that I was a part of this August gathering on this inauguration day. Thank you, Team MIT, for adding value to Aurangabad city and to the students of the faculty. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raman sir. Bilgi sir has added 3 additional values, that is communication, curiosity, and learning. And you have added one more leg to this CCL definition, that is leadership. But what you said is very right. That is, the leadership should be adding great value to this CCL center. And we have noted this point, sir, and I'm sure we'll be able to definitely will be able to fulfill the requirements of the industry. Now, I'll request you to accept our e-memento for your great words and your valuable time. So it's a moment of appreciation which we are offering to you, and we request you to accept it. Thank you. It's a certificate of appreciation presented to Mr. Ramana Ajgaonkar, President CII. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot for your participation and your valuable time and inputs. Thank you. Now I request, there is a communication from Mr. Ram Bhogle and Mr. Shivaprasad Jajuji that because of some urgency and other hectic schedules, they will not be able to attend today's inauguration session. So I move on to Mr. Sunil Sutamane, the President of National Institute of Personnel Management, to give his blessings and advice to CCL. It's you, Sunil Sutamane, sir.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, please. Yeah, you are audible.
Yeah, thank you.
Sir.
Thank you. I first congratulate to MIT for taking such nice of leadership to forming the Center for the Corporate Learning and all this thing. So I congratulate to all the team members of the MIT, Mr. Munish Sharma ji, under his kind leadership, able leadership. Definitely the CCL will be the iconic center for all the institutions in India. I also continue the Bilgi sir that the 3 skills. I add some more skills of 2025. That is the skill. First is the analytical thinking and innovation. Then second is the active learning and learning strategies. That is already Bilgi sir and Raman sir expressed. Then third one is complex problem solving. The next one is critical thinking and analysis. Next is creativity, originality, and initiative. That is more important. Then the leadership and social influence. As Raman Ajgaonkar says that the third L is the leadership. Definitely, sir, I agree with you. Then the next skill is technology use, monitoring, and control. That is also very important skill. Then the technology design and programming, because all are we are going to the digital session and all these things. So technology design is most important. Then resilience, stress tolerance, and flexibility. As during the COVID pandemic.
काहीतरी रिझन आहे त्यांचं जे काय डबल करायला लागल्यात रस्ता मला वाटतं काहीतरी तेवढ्याच वेळात ते पाऊस आला.
May I request Mr. Vinod to please mute your phone, Mr. Vinod, please. Thank you, Mr. Vinod.
And the last one is reasoning, problem solving, and ideation. This is the more important skills. I think that is useful for 2025, and definitely CCL will give this skill to the students as well as the industry also. So I thanks to the MIT, Mr. Saha sir, Mr. Anand Pole sir, to give us the opportunity to hearing such dignitious speakers and the guests today's program. So I thanks to the MIT, and NIPM definitely will support all the support to you in this field. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sutravane sir. It's a great support which you are offering to us for ensuring that we develop the value and the leadership and the skill gap fulfillment to the industry requirement. We are sure that the activity of CCL which has been started will definitely try to fulfill the needs of the industry and the society also. Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words and your valuable time. Please accept our e-memento as a token of appreciation for your participation for the inaugural function. So it's a certificate of appreciation presented to Mr. Sunil Sutravane, President NIPM. Thank you very much, sir, for your participation and your valuable guidance to us. Thank you. Now, I'll request Mr. Gautam Shah, sir, for summing up the program.
Thank you, sir. Basically, this was to be done by Professor Srinivas Vaidya, but he is not feeling well. So I have taken this responsibility. So it's after listening to many such learned people. So there are a lot many things to take away from today's session, which are really going to help to bring the CCL to be one of the center of excellence in this part of India. So start with the observations given by our today's chief guest, Dr. Shri Vijay Pandey sir. So his observation about because his experience, he worked as a vice chancellor of our university. But his observation is like, there's enough, there's no dearth of talent this part of Maharashtra, but we are lacking in certain areas, like, we have a certain level of inferior complex that we need to work for. So, sir, these suggestions, your suggestions are really going to help us to design the program and the training modules. It will be very focused we will make sure that your suggestions are being taken care, and our training programs are going to give a broader picture to this training world. And even you said that, how we can bring this young stars to a mainstream. And also you have mentioned about the technological advancement and how we should cope up with these changes. And as you mentioned, that nature of the jobs are going to change. So we need to adopt the new way that how we can adopt this new job roles in future. And we must, for that we must go beyond the syllabus. We should think out of box, so that only it will be possible to bring the students with that. We can cultivate the sense of entrepreneurship among the students. And because as you believe that entrepreneurs can bring many jobs to the world, and you have stress on the quality rather than the quantity, because there's a lot of proliferation in the field of higher education, but the time has come where we should really concentrate on the quality aspect of it. And as your concern about that, we are why Indian higher education institutions are not coming in global ranking. I think we need to work hard. I think this is a small step that we have taken, sir. So that will march towards that, to fulfill that, and we'll make sure that in future many of the institutions, or including our MIT, will be coming in the global rank. Even also you have suggested that, the more importantly, this center should be self-sustained. So that's a very, very relevant suggestion that we got from your side, sir. That's a business mantra that we are taking from your side, and we'll be working very hard to make this world safer and better for this young generation. Thank you very much, sir, for the contribution. As Dr. Nandisha Mishra, ma'am, being an academician, hardcore academician by heart and soul. So, and her suggestion and observation is that the elite class institution, why they call it elite, because there's a separate league in that. So league in the what they do extra. So we need to really do those things. So we need to go extra mile in terms of delivering the the syllabus or delivering the contents to our students. She has already appreciated for confining this CCL activity with the NEP 2020 that new government has already proposed. And Madam, we are trying our level best to bring in the multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary concept in our syllabus and in our entire academic curriculum. And you said about the to incubate that to go into the concept of incubation, like so bringing the problems from the local industries and solving those, helping these industries, even including small and micro level industries. So we are considering those areas. And you also mentioned about how we can groom our faculty members along with the students also, and bringing those live project to our college. So you have shown us the roadmap for the CCL, how it will be like a gateway for research activities. By getting the real or the live case studies, we can convert it into a case studies, live case studies rather, and we can convert into a PhD thesis. We can convert into a book also. And you have mentioned about how you can really create the brand of MIT, more branding of MIT through CCL activity. So we are blessed to do all this thing, ma'am. And also you have mentioned about the very interesting aspect that I could take from your session is that the reskilling our alumni, because that's more important. Of course, it's a part of lifelong learning, so that we will definitely bring back our alumni again and asking them finding out their needs, and through CCL we'll try to reskill these people. Even mentioning Mr. Harish Bilgi, sir, it was a power pack kind of delivery from your side. So you have so you have mentioning about the synonymous aspect of CCL with the three like different mantra, like communication, curiosity, and lifelong learning attitude. So definitely, your another suggestion that about Kaizen should be part of our DNA of the institution and individual of us. So definitely, we have taken it very, very positively. These things will be but that will be part of our academic system, and what else that we will be doing along with that. Also, you have mentioned about this interesting word VUCA and how to manage this situation, how to connect, how to adopt these new changes so that we, being a faculty and the students, can do. Thank you for the suggestion. Dr. Raj Agarwal, as being an IMA, is a I'll say the treasurer of the connect between the industry and the academia. I believe more than 20,000 plus people are a member of organization, and the individual are member of IMA. Sir, you have given us a true picture about the industry and the academia relation linkage, because you have done a survey in 1980 to have given us the figure till up to the recent figures. So there is a huge gap. So bits, there is a huge gap. Is we are in the right track through CCL. So we will try to contribute more for our knowledge economy, and we will need support of IMA in future too, because as being Aurangabad is a hub of industry, so definitely in future I expect that I will get a lot of help from the IMA to bring in the training culture to this part of Maharashtra. So these all are the things from the sir. Then Raman sir has mentioned about, he added talked about the leadership, and also he has talked about there is a missing link, and who could be a leader and how the leadership can be developed. He mentioned few aspects like self motivation, or the how a leader should create more leaders, or even with the ethical approach. These all are the aspects. And sir, let me tell you, we are placed to develop human, skills. That's a specific motto of this CCL. And you have also mentioned about a very interesting aspect called rate of improvement. Yes, instead of rate of return of investment and other figures, you mentioned about the rate of improvement that we bring, so that it can bring miracles to the organization, to an individual also. And another interesting part that I have taken from you, that, sir, you mentioned about the value creation. Definitely our training programs and our approach, it will definitely create values. It will transform values to the industry, to individual, maybe students or the faculty members. So, and lastly, Mr. Sudhavane mentioned about he has added many more skills that are needed as being a practitioner, being a part of such a big organization like Garware. So he has shared his experience. You talked about social connect, you talked about the resilience, the ideation, complex problem solving. So definitely you have taken these things very positively. We'll inculcate, and while designing in future programs and all, we will consider all these suggestions. So thank you very much, all the eminent people, for sharing your views, your thoughts. And I request all of you, please be continue with your support to strengthen CCL, to become a center of excellence in this part of Maharashtra, and even to contribute for our knowledge economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Gautam Shah, sir. It was a night summing up of all the points said by all the big dignitaries and the speakers, eminent speakers on the platform today. So it's a responsibility which has been given to me to give vote of thanks. But giving vote of thanks is just not going to suffice the purpose. Giving thanks is definitely my responsibility, but I will request everybody to give their blessings and support to take and accept all the suggestions which have come from your side and implement it. I sincerely thank Vinod sir. Please unmute. Please mute yourself. Vinod sir, please mute yourself. Vinod Jagedar. Thank you. So I sincerely thank Dr. Nandita Mishra ma'am, Director CMIR Mumbai. We thank Harish Bilgi sir, Head BD Modern Elite Sharjah. I also thank Dr. Raj Agrawal, Director IMA New Delhi, for your valuable time, for your valuable additions to the concept of CCL. I also thank Mr. Ramana Ajgaonkar and Mr. Sutavane sir for their valuable time and support which they are going to extend to us for the future activities of CCL. I also thank Mr. Ramchandra Bhogle and Mr. Shivprasad Jaju for accepting our invitation for the inaugural function. But unfortunately, because of some other urgent assignments, they were to leave half of the program. I sincerely thank Chairman Governing Body, Mr. V.M. Pandari Pandey, for inaugurating the today's CCL virtual function and advising us the future path. I also sincerely thank Mr. Munish Sharma sir for supporting us for developing this idea of CCL. I also thank all the faculties of MIT and the team of CCL and the students and the parents, those who have joined for this auspicious occasion of virtual inauguration of CCL. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. Thanks a lot. I request all people to put on their video so that we'll be able to capture the photograph of all the participants today. I'll request everybody to put on their videos. Please put on your videos. I request all participants on the platform now to put on your videos. Please let us see you all. I request everybody to put on your videos, please. Please be on the screen. We have to take a photograph.
Sir, few of the screens are from the department. So
Yeah.
I think we have already taken it, sir. Right.
Okay.
Right,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you, everybody, and all the best.
So thank you very much.
Thank you and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, everyone.
So with your permission, we leave now the meeting, right?
Right, sir. Thank you very much for
Thank
joining.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Harish.
Thank you, Anand, for this wonderful invite. Dr. Gautam Saha, for your invite.
Definitely, we'll connect, sir. Definitely in future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhosle sir, for joining the program and sharing your thought. Thank you.
Pandey sir, thank you so much.
Please join. Right, sir. Right, sir. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Good, sir.